All right, guys, I've had several of you ask about the customization modifications. Well, that's a mouthful right there. That I've done to the trucks, Mack, C8500. Just so happens, they're both in the shop, so let's check them out. All right, we'll start with the Mack. It's a 99 CH613 E7 E-Tech Mack engine. I don't know, it's got close to 600,000 miles on it, about 500,000 on a rebuild. I've had this truck for about 6.5 years. It was white, now it's green. Actually, every truck I've owned has been green, except for this one, and hopefully that'll be green one of these days. But as soon as I bought it, I made a bunch of changes to it. One, to make it my personal truck, and two of them as necessity. So here's what we got. First thing we got here is here in the front. It had the big chrome bumper on it. I built this one here. It's basically 2x2 tubing, 1/4-inch wall, and then I just got the mesh in there for weight, and I think it looks good. It's not what I'd call a true push bumper, but it is considerably more durable than what the factory is. What I've ran into a lot of times is you drop a dang tire off in a ditch, or you cut it close next to a tree, and you always end up folding that into the tire. I glanced off a few things, and it stayed put for the most part. I literally built that for like 2 days in a weekend. I've got some pictures here. I'll see if I can throw them up real quick if I can find them on my phone. Nothing fancy. It's durable, it's functional. I think it looks good. I still use the original tow hooks. You can get in there and reach those for the occasions when you decide to go off-road and make bad decisions. I've got the oversized load signs. They're sign backed. I just welded a couple pins on there, put some clips in them. I've actually got a spot behind the seat in the truck. I can throw those in there. As far as the flag goes, basically all it is a 3/4 pipe nipple. Actually, that was a piece of 3/4 pipe I just cut. Sign slides right down in there. Or not the sign, the flag. But works good for when you're hauling oversized load. I've actually got those same things welded on the trailer. Works out really nice. Now, most of the CH613s, not all of them, but most of them had the light that the lens went this way. I don't like that look. I like this look better, so I changed out these buckets. I bought those on eBay for, I think, 119 bucks. And then I did upgrade it, and I do have DOT approved, Hoover, DOT approved LED lights. That was probably one of the best upgrades I made to this truck in a long time, to be honest with you. I'm still not for sure. I've threatened to black out the grill a few times, but I don't know. I've left it chrome, and those are chrome, so it is what it is at this point. This thing here, as you guys know, most Mack trucks, your fuel tank goes right here. It goes from the battery box back to about right there is where the fuel tank sits. So whenever I worked at the dealership, every truck that come in that was an oil rig truck, a logging truck, an excavating truck, every one of them either had the fuel lines knocked off the bottom of the tank, had the bottom of the truck caved in, or the bottom of the tank caved in. They were just always tore up. And I don't care how good a driver you are, you're doing what we do, you're always going to run into a situation where you drop a tire off in a ditch, or you run over a log, or you're dragging this thing through the wood and mud's balling up, or you're dragging it through a field, or there's just always a situation. So I'm like, how can I eliminate that? So this is kind of what I did to protect myself from that happening. So the first thing you can tell I did for sure is I took the tank completely off the side of the truck. I'll get to its location here in a minute. And then your tank is your step. So now you got to get in and out of the truck. So basically what I did is I built these out of 4x4 tube. They're 3/16 wall. And all it is a Nerf bar for a truck. I don't know how else to describe it. They're solid. They're mounted to the frame back there. There's a big bracket. There's a crossbar that goes over to the other side. The way you know, with the steps on the tank, you want to crawl up this way. The way these are designed, you come in here at an angle, which is just naturally, it's amazing how easy it flows. You just kind of fall right into the seat. Everybody that's drove this truck, the first thing they talk about is how easy it is to get in and out. They've just worked really well. They need to be painted. They're about 6 years old. They've got a lot of wear on them. but man, have I been happy with those things. Now, we got one here and one on the other side, and then what I did from there is I took the fuel tank, that's the actual fuel tank that used to be on the side, and I mounted it on the back up here in the catwalk. I still got plenty of room here. I don't have to worry about any trailers or anything getting into it. I don't think it looks bad there. Hell, a lot of trucks have a damn hydraulic tank up there, but it's easy to get to. It's up out of the way. I don't have to worry about it getting damaged. I don't have to worry about it getting dented. It's just been a really, really good design. Now, the thing people notice most of the time is the exhaust. I don't know if you can see it there. So here's a story on the exhaust and how it all come to be. My first semi I had was an R model Mack that I bought from Wade. I literally bought it out of a scrap pile and pieced it back together, and you're gonna find this hard to believe. Whenever I bought it, it didn't have exhaust on it at all. At the time, I had another guy working with me, Eddie, and he was a pretty good fabricator. I like being different and unique. I just don't like being the same as everybody else. So we kicked around the shop. We came up with the idea of this type of exhaust. The first truck didn't have it diamond shaped. It had it just coming out and square. So whenever I got this truck, we wanted to do something similar, but we wanted to tweak on it a little bit. So we turned the pipes at a 45 and kind of did the diamond thing at the top, wherever it's at. It's worked out awesome, and I like it for two reasons. One, it's unique. There may be somebody else out there that's got an exhaust similar to this, but I can guarantee you there's not one out there exactly like this. And I like being different. The other is it's very functional. I don't know how many times tree limbs are it's just durable. I mean, you just don't have to worry about ripping the exhaust off the truck. I don't know how to explain it. It's just out of sight, out of mind. Got a unique sound to it, got a unique look to it. It's functional. It's worked great. So to give you guys a little bit of a rundown of how it's built, basically there's the pipe coming off the turbo, comes back, comes into a short piece of flex right there. I actually had to, you can't see it in there, I actually had to do a little bit of finagling to get that adapter on there. Then it goes into this cross tube. This is 5x5 tubing, 3/16. That bar runs all the way across. Stacks are made out of the same. You can see how they're welded on there. Got a piece of diamond plate on the bottom, and they go on up. That is 1.5 by 1.5 quarter wall going across there, protecting the back window. 1/2 inch rebar there. This piece here, that's actually out of the car wash we bought. That's what hung up on the wall. It's on the thing back and forth. It works great for hanging your hydraulic hoses and your glide hands and electrical cords. Keeps everything up off the catwalk. And up on top there, I got 1 by 1 tubing holding up all my strobe light. And then I do have 2 LED backup lights right there for loading. Works great. Now down below, I actually used all the straps and the saddles off of the tank where it's mounted to the side of the frame. My hydraulic setup's a little bit unique. These two here are for lowboy. This is pressure and return for lowboy. And then whenever I'm running the dump wagon, that's the hose that goes to the dump wagon. Got my electric right there. 2 glide hands right there, and that is actually for an air tailgate is what that is. So everything's just right there, nice and neat, all together. It's all mounted to the frame with this one big bracket right here. All right, one of the last features I did to this truck was I put this hose reel on here. And I'll be honest with you, I bought that thing on a Black Friday sale, I believe at Orscheln's or Tractor Supply, for like 50 bucks. And I thought, that thing ain't gonna last. It's been on there for about 5 years. I did have to replace the hose, but the reel still works great. I've had no problems with it whatsoever. I got just enough hose in it where I can unroll that thing out, and if I got a 53-foot trailer on, I can reach the rear axle, so it works great. That's pretty much it for this old girl. If you guys got any questions or comments about anything I did, or just put them down below. You guys know how to do it, and I'll answer everything I can. We'll move on to this one. This one's still a work in progress. So first off, if you can tell, it's red. And anybody that knows me know red is not my color. This truck is most likely gonna be green at some point if I keep it. But it was a county highway truck. I bought it at auction. It's a 2006 C8500. I don't know, it's got like 120 something thousand miles on it now. But it was a snowplow truck. The first thing I had to do is this thing had the ugliest front end on it ever. The bumper was like all the way out to here, had this big 3/4 plate. I got a picture of it somewhere. If I can find it, I'll throw it up. But I cut all that off. I moved the bumper back. I'd still like to build a bumper for this that's similar to the Mack, but I haven't got time. My plan is to build a cover that goes up over top of that. And I've actually got a winch over here on the shelf. I think it'd cool to set that winch up there on top and then build a nice custom bumper around it. I just haven't had time to mess with it. We've just been so busy and winter's coming over and I had the other projects in the shop, so it kind of is what it is at this point, I guess. Hopefully I'll get around to it one day. As far as the bed, I haven't really done a whole lot of modifications to it. As you guys seen in some previous videos, I've pretty much just did repair to it from where it used to be a salt truck. I've got it in really good shape. I got one cross member and one hole on each side I need to fix yet, but she's coming along. Of course, you guys seen the video on the springs. So the most unique feature on this truck right now is probably the exhaust. I actually had another truck, an old International DT466, IT 4800 maybe, but I did something similar to this on there. So guys, just real quick, this is the setup I had on the International. This is actually the first one I built. Spring setup's a little different, but you can basically see it's still kind of the same theory of operation. I had this truck for a little over a year. It worked good, didn't give me a minute's trouble. You can kind of see the spring-loaded action there on this one as well. So here's the setup on this truck. Same principle, a little different theory. Pipes coming in from the turbo down there. We've got this bracket right here, and all that does, you can kind of see where it moves right there. And this one is actually spring-loaded right there, and there's the coupler device. And then as you can see, the exhaust goes on up through the bed, comes out up here, and that's actually kind of strategically placed and got the angle cut on it right there, so whenever that tarp comes over, it misses it. I'll throw you guys down below here real quick and operate the bed, and you can kind of see how the coupler works on this one. Not a whole lot to it, nice and simple. Now, on this particular truck, I come up with the design, but I'll be honest, Brandon with Deer Creek Customs, he actually installed it on the truck for me. It's been on there about 6 months. It's worked pretty darn good. So the last thing I'd done to this truck is this truck had a salt spreader on the back of it, and this was just a mess. It had all kinds of crazy bracketry and everything. So Brandon actually cut all that crap off there for me, and we put this pintle hitch plate on there. Basically now I can use it for pulling that little trailer I got. And then it had no lights down here. All the lights are up high, which actually is a DOT violation, so we got to move down. This is actually a 3/4 plate, and you can see right here from where I backed into the trailer, I basically had them weld a piece of 1/4 inch key stock around there. That'll allow that grommet to fit in there, but it's worked pretty good. That's pretty much it for this truck. I hope to do more to it. It's kind of a work in progress. If you guys got any ideas or suggestions on that front bumper you think it'd look cool, let me know. As always, thanks for watching. If you haven't hit that red subscribe button yet, please do. And if you like this video, give it a big old thumbs up, and we'll catch you on the next one, guys.